Hi everybody, it's Christina from Pretty Distressed. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you the full reveal of my laundry room makeover, and the real star of the show is going to be these cabinets that we installed and that I sprayed with a chalk style type of paint. So if you want to see this full laundry makeover, just keep watching. Here is my laundry room that I'm going to be making over. This is an extreme case of where I was being lazy and not putting my paint away. I have always hated this wire cabinet up here. It just always looks messy. I'm in here a lot cleaning paint, so I need this space to be functional. I need it to be clean. So we decided to buy some cabinets from Home Depot. These are the unfinished Hampton Bay cabinets in beach. I'll put a link to this specific cabinet and size down in the description box, along with all the other products that I used today. Today's video is sponsored by Wagner Spray Tech, and I'm going to be using their Flexio 3000 with the detail nozzle to spray these cabinets today, so stay tuned for more about Wagner later. These cabinets are going to go above the washer and dryer where that hideous wire rack is, so I'm just prepping these to paint by removing the doors and removing all the hardware. Like I mentioned, these are unfinished and brand new, but if you have existing cabinets anywhere that you're wanting to spray, I will include some tips on how to do that as I go along. I'm going to be using my Wagner spray pop-up tent to protect my garage as I'm spraying out here. You guys have seen this in other videos and I am a huge fan of it. It's really easy to set up. Once I got my pop-up tent set up, I started prepping my doors to paint. So I'm just giving them a light scuff sand with my Surf Prep sander. I'm using a 220 grit sandpaper. If you don't have a power or orbital sander, you can just sand this by hand. It's just going to take a little longer. And if you are working with a cabinet that has previously been finished, before you do the sanding portion, just clean down everything, all the surface with a good TSP soap. That's going to help you cut all your grease, and then go ahead after that dries and scuff sand, and you will be ready to go if you're using a chalk style paint. After I got everything sanded, I just grabbed a tack cloth and wiped back all my dust. And then I'm going to use some painter's tape with the plastic already attached to mask off any of my areas that I don't want to get overspray on when I start spraying. This film will cling to your surface, but when you actually go to spray it, that will kind of come up from all the air that is around. So make sure you tape this down really well all over. I had to learn my lesson the hard way on this one. To spray today, I'm using the Wagner Flexio 3000. You guys have seen this in a couple of my other videos, and I'm using this fine detail nozzle because it's going to help me get a really smooth finish, but it also comes with this bigger one that you can use for walls, ceilings, floors, decks, so it's a great 2-in-1 sprayer if you're looking to purchase one. I'm going to be using Dixie Belle chalk paint today to spray my cabinets in the color Driftwood. I am using a chalk style paint because A, I have lots of chalk style paint in my closet, so I didn't have to go out and buy new things, and B, I'm just used to working with this type of paint, so it is my preference. You could definitely use a latex, you could use an acrylic, whatever you're comfortable with, you're going to be able to spray with. I am straining my paint in a paint strainer and putting it in my cup just to make sure I don't have any big chunks that are going to get caught in my sprayer as I go. And then once I get all my paint in there, I personally like to water my paint down about 10%. Dixie Belle says that you can water their paint down up to 20%. So just find the ratio that works best for you. This is the one that I'm liking right now, so I'm sticking with 10%. I'm going to have my nozzle pointed down because I'm going to mostly be spraying in a down motion or level, and I'm going to put my setting in between an 8 and a 7, and I start with my flow really low and then I bump it up as I get more comfortable. Always grab a piece of cardboard or a scrap piece of paper that I can tape to the wall to test out my settings before I actually spray on my piece. I'm getting more and more comfortable with this every time I use it, and it is becoming one of my favorite ways to paint. When you're painting, you just want to make sure that you're overlapping back and forth about 30% to help make you have a smooth finish. This paints so fast. I was able to paint all of this, 10 times faster than it would take me to use a regular paintbrush, and it gives such a smooth finish. There's a little bit more cleanup involved, and you definitely need to make sure that you have all your settings right, but it's pretty quick and easy to learn, and like I said, I am loving it more and more every time I use it. And because my cabinets are brand new and not installed, I was able to spray everything out here in my garage in my tent. If your bases are attached to your wall, I still would recommend removing those doors and doing those doors separately outside. But if you need to spray your bases inside, just make sure you mask off the room really well. Here you can see my film blowing around. Like I told you, my turbine, that air is going to kick that out. So make sure you put something in there to weight it back or tape it to your piece really well. I definitely have to remind myself to get up on my piece to that 6 to 8 inches. I have a tendency to pull away and it's just not going to have your finish be as smooth. So make sure you are staying that 6 to 8 inches away from your piece. This detail nozzle is going to work on smaller pieces and just give you a super fine, smooth finish. And when I go to put on the top coat, oh, you guys, it was like flawless. While my first coat is drying, I am going to go into my laundry room and clean out all this stuff I have in here. I have added some additional storage out in my garage and have heat and air conditioning out there now, so I think I'm going to be able to keep this area a little bit more clean once I get all this stuff out of here. I did have one of the cabinets fall off my painter's pyramid. That's the first time anything has fallen. I got damaged on one of those things. So I had to piece that back on there and put some putty in there and sand it down to be able to make that real nice and smooth. I also sanded in between coats with a really fine sandpaper in 400 and wiped off all my dust before I went in there with my second coat. 2 coats of paint was enough coverage for me, but I was working with a really light unfinished wood. If your cabinets are really dark, you might have to do 3 coats of paint. I let these dry overnight before I top coated them. I'm going to be using Dixie Belle's Gator Hide, which is their most protective top coat, and it offers some water resistance. This is a lot thinner than my paint. So I'm going to set my sprayer at between a 3 and a 2, and I'm going to put my flow level on the lowest setting and bump it up as I get more comfortable or I need more flow. And again, I'm testing it out on that cardboard before I start. I like spraying this top coat with these cabinets flat like this. I find that it helps them level out a lot. It just made it a lot easier for me. If you have any imperfections, you can sand between coats. You do not need to thin this out at all. It's already really thin the way that it comes. And I let this dry for about 4 hours in between each coat, and I ended up doing 3 coats of the top coat. You are not going to believe how smooth and professional these look when I hang them up. I know a lot of people are intimidated working with spray guns, but it's actually really easy cleanup. It's just warm soapy water, take it all apart. I use a little scrubby brush that I have to get all the paints and everything out and then let it dry. It's that easy. Once I was done painting and the cabinets were all dry, I took this tent down because I had to get other projects hopping out here in the garage, and I just wanted to show you how easy it is to take apart by yourself, super quick, definitely a good investment. Okay, now it's makeover time. So we're gonna get all this clutter and mess out of here and get this wire rack down and then bring the cabinets in to hang. A big bummer about these wire racks is that they leave huge holes because most of the time they are anchored in there pretty well. So we had to do a lot of patching and repairs after we figured out where we were going to put the cabinets. They didn't cover up all the big holes that were made, so we just patched those up, let them dry, sanded them down, and then used some paint to touch them up. My little trick to speed along the process, because we were impatient and wanted to hang them, was use my Wagner heat gun to help them dry a little bit faster. Then we came in with the stud finder and just marked where all our studs were, because you definitely want to screw cabinets into studs. And my husband had this really smart idea of pinning this 2x2 to the wall to help us steady and level out the cabinets, since there's only 2 of us to hang these. So we got the bases up and just made sure they were level, and then screwed them into the wall with some heavy duty screws where we had marked our studs. To get our second cabinet up, you actually want to screw your 2 cabinets together. So we got them up, clamped them, screwed them together, and then screwed that cabinet to the wall where the studs were. All this information was in the instructions that our cabinets came with, so we just followed those to hang them up. Once the cabinets were up, I reinstalled all the hardware so I could put the doors back on. Once you get the doors on, there are lots of different screws that you can play with to make sure that they're level with each other and that they close without having a gap in the middle. After I got the doors where I wanted them, I added these little protective pads to each corner to help protect the paint not chip as you open and close the doors. Okay, so the cabinets are in, but I want to add some more decorative elements here. I'm going to do some open shelving in here, so I marked off where I wanted all those so we could get the boards and the brackets that we need for that. I'm going to be installing this peel and stick washable wallpaper all around my sink area because I splash a lot of paint up here, and this wallpaper is going to be really wipeable and easy to clean. I went back and forth about doing tile, but tile was just going to be a lot of work, and it's such a tall wall. I thought pulling in wallpaper would be a better idea. After I finished with the wallpaper, I added some beautiful brushed brass knobs to my cabinets. The laundry room did have one nice cabinet in it already with a sink and some really pretty granite, so I just pulled one of those colors out of the granite for these cabinets. But to update and tie these together, I placed some new hardware on that black cabinet too. I had to order my brackets online for my open shelving because they didn't have them in gold in the store, and when they came I was just not digging the color gold that they were. I wanted them to match more and be that brushed brass color, so I actually took my Dixie Belle gilding wax and gilded all these brackets, and it is beautiful. It makes them more shiny. They were really dull before. It just added that nice pop and tied everything together. So I applied the gilding wax to all my brackets and let them dry overnight. And then to make it easier on myself, I actually got brass wood screws to attach all the brackets to the wall and to our boards that we got. We were able to attach one set of brackets on one side to a stud in the wall, and then for the other side we used anchors to get those brackets in. For the boards for my shelf, I got Select Pine. That's going to be a lot smoother and have a lot less knots than common board. And I really loved the color the way that it was, so I didn't seal these. I didn't really have to do anything to them. They were in really great shape. We just cut them down to size. So I put 3 shelves up the wall with the wallpaper, and then we added one over the washer and dryer so I could store items like my little Tide Pods and dryer sheets. Our ceilings are really high on our first floor, so we wanted to hang the cabinets high enough that they wouldn't look awkward and have a lot of empty space above them. But since we hung them higher, a shelf is going to even out the space and make it look more appealing to the eye. I love the way these turned out. I'm trying to think of more spaces that I can put them in the house. I went to Homegoods and bought a bunch of items here to stage my wall, but I made it functional too. So I got these little canisters to hold my Tide Pods in so they're easy for the kids to reach and us to reach. We don't have to get up in the cabinet. And I also put our little smell good things. Do you guys use those? They make your clothes smell really good. And then I found this box that was perfect for the dryer sheets that I could set up on the shelf as well. Okay, this makeover is done. Are you guys ready for the big reveal? Just to remind you, here is the before of this laundry room, a hot mess, and here it is now. This is like my favorite room in the whole house now. I am so excited to get all this clutter put away in these cabinets, and the finish on these is so beautiful. It's so smooth. It looks professional. I can't believe that I did it myself. It's so pretty, but it's also functional because I have a clean counter now that I can do stuff on, and when I'm working on a project, I can just shove my stuff in here in this cabinet instead of having it all over my countertop, so I know that's going to come in handy. Using the Wagner sprayer on these cabinets just saved me so much time. It went so fast, and I have such a beautiful, smooth finish. I love it. Now when I come in here to clean my brushes, it's going to be serene and beautiful and really relaxing, and I'm going to enjoy it. And that gold gilding wax really came to the rescue on these brackets. They just tie in so beautifully with the rest of the hardware. Thanks for joining me for today's video. Before you leave, make sure you check out some of my other videos over here. I will be back next week with another project. Thanks for being here, you guys, and I will see you next time.